Dear Contractors. Dear Contractors. If you have some young hooligan or whatchamacallit helping you out on the job and they obviously don't know what they're doing, don't get them to do it. Here's a perfect example. I was once on a job for my actual job where we had a guy who didn't know how to install a piece of plumbing equipment correctly. He was like some 18-year-old kid, like fresh out of school. He had like a few months of an apprenticeship under his belt, and then the contractor, his mentor, was basically like, yeah, sure, go ahead, yeah, you got this. And then he goes out there and we have to explain to him how everything goes together. Shouldn't have to happen. Bottom line, do not send inexperienced people to fix things. They do a bad job or they do it incorrectly. Dear Contractors. A piece of cardboard is not a rafter vent. A rafter vent is a piece of plastic that is there to vent your rafter. Cardboard is there to box something. I don't think you can box a house in that particular order or that particular kind of whatever. That's not the point. The point is, if you do not use the proper material or the proper device that is used for that specific purpose, stuff gets messed up, like the interior of walls or insulation or your subfloor. Oh, I could just keep going and going and going. The point is, bottom line, do not use a material that is not meant for it. Ergo, do not use cardboard when you're supposed to be using a rafter vent. Dear Contractors. I have no problem with you trying to save money, little bits here and there, whatever you can find, because I understand, like, use screws instead of using nails. Come on, guys, like, nail popping is a thing, and it's a thing that affects tons and tons of people. Do you know why? Because you're using nails instead of using screws to put drywall onto a ceiling or onto a wall. It is not that hard. Instead of going 1, 2, 1, 2, you basically go 1, 2. It takes exactly the same amount of time. It costs a little bit extra money. Just a little bit extra money for convenience. Is it really worth it? Bottom line, use screws instead of using nails for drywall. Dear Contractor. Yeah. Get better, people, to make your doors. It is not that difficult. There's a little bit of a gap on the top. There's a bigger gap on the bottom. My last house, I had this much of a gap on the bottom. There was literally no airflow underneath some of my doors because you're supposed to put in the doors after the finished floor is put in. You don't put the door in and then put in the finished floor. You can put the framing for the door in, but you don't put the actual door in. You make that measurement after the finished floor is done. Also, door sticking, it's not that hard, guys. You leave a little bit of a gap on the top. You seal the top with paint or wood sealer or something, and then no moisture gets into the door and screws with everything. No, just don't, no. Bottom line, door sticking is not that big a deal to try to fix or do right the first time, okay? Dear Contractors. Crawl spaces are not that big of a deal. However, when you make the crawl space incorrectly, it kind of defeats the purpose of having a crawl space. A lot of people use crawl spaces because they're afraid of concrete, they don't want to pay for the concrete, or they're just lazy. And I'm okay with saving a few bucks here or there. I really do not mind it at all. However, when you're saving a few bucks, just do it right and do it right the first time. Moisture control, dehumidification, enclosure properly, just little things like this. A proper door, a proper crawl space door. Come on, guys. Bottom line, if you're going to do a crawl space, do it right. Make an enclosure. Make sure that all of the boards are sealed correctly. Put a little vapor barrier in there. Insulate properly. Make sure nothing dangles, just things like this. It's not that hard, guys. Well, that works. Last thing, Dear Contractors, most toilet pipes are 1, 2, 3 inches thick, 3 inches. The actual pipe size with its fitting is usually 3.5 inches roughly, maybe a little bit bigger, sometimes 3.75 inches. Do you know how big a 2x4 is? It's not actually 2x4. It's 1 3/4 inches by 3.5 inches. Do you know what that means? That waste pipe doesn't fit in a 2x4 wall properly. Do you know what that means? You need to build 2x6 walls. Come on guys, it is not that difficult. If you build a 2x6 wall, that way you can bring your waste pipe down from an upper floor or from somewhere else. Granted, if I have a crawl space and I just have bathrooms on the first floor and I have nothing on the second floor, no big deal. It's not that big a deal because I've got no waste pipe that's 3 inches thick coming down in one of my walls. However, if you do have one of these, just use a 2x6 instead of a 2x4 construction. You don't even need to do the whole wall 2x6 construction. You could just do part of it. Bottom line, build more walls for waste. 2x6 walls, guys. It literally does not fit. Hey guys, thanks for watching my Dear Contractors video. I'm going to be making more of these because it's fun to vent sometimes. That's actually a plumbing joke. If you got that, please comment below. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to keep coming back, hit that subscribe button. I would love to hear some of your stories. If you guys have hired contractors that are great, fantastic. Comment below. If you have hired contractors that suck, great. Comment below. I would love to read all of them. Please, 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 please. That will give me more inspiration because I'm definitely going to be making more of these videos as I keep taking my house apart. And those were just a couple of them that I found right now. I would like to put out a disclaimer on all contractors that might be watching these videos. Not all of you guys suck. I've actually met quite a few of you that are really, really awesome. I have also met a great few of you that are terrible. I don't care if you are a GC, subcontractor, a regular contractor, licensed or unlicensed. The quality of your work reflects your character to me. If you do a really good job, I'll bring you back. Again, I don't care if you're licensed or unlicensed. I don't care if you are a GC that's just taking care of the whole thing, or if you're just a subcontractor that just does this to get a little bit of money. I really don't care. You do quality work, I'll bring you back. Anyways, stay tuned because there will be more venting videos from this guy.